Today we're going to try and make a cheese ball. It's party season. Thanksgiving is tomorrow. I want to serve a cheese ball because we really love cheese ball. And I want to show you how to make a really nice soft one. I'm going to try to shape my cheese ball into a pumpkin, and I'll show you what I do for that. But what you're going to need is, of course, some cream cheese. And I'm only going to make one small cheese ball. Now you can double the recipe and get two fairly decent sized cheese balls if you want to. And then we're doing some shredded cheese. I get the finely shredded cheese. Usually that works best for me. And this says Mexican style on this one, but it's just a combination. There's no Mexican flavorings or anything in there. And then you'll be chopping up a pepper, chopping up an onion, chopping up some pimento. And then there'll be just a dash of Worcestershire sauce, a splash of lemon juice, real lemon if you've got it, but I don't. And then, of course, we're going to roll it in pecans. Pecans is my favorite for a cheese ball. Now, I like the pecans throughout the cheese ball, so I sprinkle pecans into the mixture of the cheese and the cream cheese, just so it's throughout the mixture in addition to the outside. And then, of course, you got to have something cute to serve it on. Look at this. It's a bulb to go on a bulb tree. Isn't that the cutest thing you've seen? I got that at the thrift store, of course. I'm anxious to use it this year. But let's start it out. Now, whenever you get started to make your cheese ball, make sure you set your cheeses out even an hour ahead of time so that they get room temperature. They're easier to stir and blend together. So much easier. We're going to chop up this green pepper finely. I think I'm going to put about a half cup in this recipe for the cheese ball. We got one with many lobes on the bottom. Those are supposedly the female. They're crispier and better for something that you're going to use raw. The other ones that only have 3 lobes on them are the male. We'll let you figure that out. But they're for something when you're going to cook the green pepper. But if you want it sweet and lively, you get the female. Typically, there'll be 4, 2, and 2. We'll let you figure out how that's a female. I would say hips and other anatomical parts, but that's what you do. So we just need to dice up everything. Now I try to get the green pepper in as small of diced pieces as I can. Sometimes that's a little aggravating, but if you just give yourself time, it works out, and you can get tiny pieces. In my preference, I want tiny pieces in the cheese ball so that you don't get just one big hunk of green pepper. I want a mixture of everything, including the onions, in each bite. Onions, green pepper, pimento, and the nuts, of course. But that can go real quickly. Now, I know you just couldn't see in that fast action that I snipped the end of my glove, so I took it off. Now you have to do the same with the onion. You just peel that and dice that up the same way in tiny pieces, as much as your nerves will allow you. That's what I did here. And I've got the big sharp knife that my son got me for Christmas. I think that was last year. It's very sharp, a little scary, but it sure chops things up nicely. Now, I have used a full cup of onion, full cup of diced peppers, and then I have a little storage compartment for the rest of the onion. It makes it nice to keep in the refrigerator. Used to use a sandwich bag, but that cute little onion-shaped thing works just fine.
Okay. Then I'm going to set.
So I've got this all ready to put in.
Now.
And it seems like a lot of onion, but my family likes a lot of onion. And then I have the cheese. I had originally planned to put a cup of cheese in there, but it seemed to me, once I started to stir it up, that it needed more than a cup. So I put the second cup in, and then based on that bag was 2 cups, I just put the rest of the bag in. Now the diced pimento is diced, but kind of in large pieces, and I usually dice up about a 1/4 cup of that and just try to dice it a little more finely. And of course, more or less to your taste. And then here's the cream cheese that's been sitting out, so it's a little soft and easy to work with. Now you can test the cheese and give it a little stir, and as long as it feels soft enough that it will easily blend with everything, you're good to go.
Into your cream cheese mixture, just a splash of Worcestershire sauce. And a splash of lemon. If you have lime, that's perfectly fine. And then, let me stir it a little. I like to put in some pecans deep inside the nut ball too, cheese ball. Okay.
You know.
All right. So down inside, let me grab one. I'm going to put a 1/2 cup of nuts right inside the nut ball, the cheese ball. Can you tell I like the nuts part of it the best? Okay. And then we're just going to incorporate it all in there, which I'm going to start with my veggies. Here's the
Pepper.
green pepper. That's about a 1/2 to 3/4 of a cup. And the onion, that's almost a full cup. But my family doesn't think anything has too much onion. And then I've got a cup of cheese. Okay. And then in addition, let's not forget, we have about a 1/4 cup of the pimento, all diced up. Okay. Now, let's stir. Well, it looks pretty good. It looks real colorful and Christmassy. But that works for Thanksgiving too. Okay, now from the looks of it, I would say it could use another cup of the shredded cheese. So this one's going to end up with 2 cups of shredded cheese.
There we go. The whole bag.
Let me see. This was supposedly
2 cups.
2 cups. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest.
Yeah, because there ain't nothing hardly left.
Okay, what do you think?
Looking good.
I think it looks pretty good. We might have to taste test. Did I put my nuts in? I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I think that looks good.
Got some sticking on the sides.
All right. Now, we're going to put out a nice big long roll of cling wrap to put the ball into. Let me see. As much as we got, I might do 2. Let me see. I think I might do 2. Okay, so I put a big stack of it right there. And then you just pour a lot of these crushed pecans onto it. Just like that. Scatter some around it. And then you can use the cling wrap to go around and mush it up into the ball like this. So you can see how you can mush it in like that. Now, just depending on how you like it, I think this particular one, I might try it as a roll, a log. Maybe not quite a log, maybe a triangle, oval, a mound. Let's try that. That looks good. That looks nice. Now, how's he got? Got a lot of loose nuts over here, and there's a lot loose on this side. There we go. I think that looks good. Now, what I want to do is then just take the pumpkin ball. I'm sorry, not going to be a pumpkin ball this time, but you can shape into a pumpkin if you'd like. All you would do is just put rubber bands on each of these sides and shape it into that ball. But anyway, there we go. And this is a very, very soft cheese ball. Easily spreadable. You can make this 2-3 days in advance and have it in the refrigerator. Just take it out an hour or 2 hours before you're actually going to have people eating it. And then that way it'll be soft enough to spread real easily. But the taste is just scrumptious. And I think, is it going to fit my little dish just right? Oh yeah, it'll be good for my little dish. Okay, so that's one. And now, same thing for the other one. And when we get them out, I can roll them up into more nuts. But they look Christmassy. And now we just set those out into the refrigerator. And I'm making them the day before. But these could have been made many days in advance. But that will be just perfect. Oh, and the cracker that I serve, we use rich crackers with just a hint of salt. We don't like things too salty around here. They have cute little Ritz crackers that are Christmassy shaped and everything like that. But unfortunately, they don't make them in the low sodium. So many people need to cut their sodium a little, especially when you're eating all this kind of garbage. But that's the type we eat. So now I'll store them away until time to get them out to serve.